But this is Heaton Park's 700th park run, and 934 people turned out for this one. It is the biggest park run in Manchester. I think it's actually the biggest in the northwest, and it's the park run that ticks all the boxes. It's got cafes, it's toilets, there's buggy friendly, there's dogs, there's pacers, there's markers, 1k, 2k, 3k, 4k markers, and a 200 metre marker left. And I'm going to put their course up on the screen now. And because of the amount of people there, I mean, once they called 3, 2, 1 then, I didn't actually move for about 10 seconds. And once I did move, I'm moving very slowly. And as you can see here, my first 1 kilometre was very slow. And I'm trying to overtake people here. I'll put the splits on the screen. And you can see that first kilometre is just slowed down by the amount of people there. And where the third kilometre is the famous Angina Hill. But there is that long between 3 and 4, which is a long downhill. It's not too downhill to make it very uncomfortable, but it's enough to pick up speed as you're finishing. And thanks to all the volunteers as well and everyone. This was a Macmillan coffee morning event as well for this one, and there were all kinds here. There's toilets in the cafe, and there's other toilets next time, and they even have toilet attendants or cleaners anyway, but they don't try and sell you any perfume or anything like that. You know, what are the favourite phrases now, what they have in the toilets where they sell you perfume? They have like no spray, no lay, no Armani, no Punani, that's one, no boss, no toss, and my favourite one, no splash, no gash. And I wonder if they have I don't know if they have them in female toilets. I mean, I don't frequent those areas, but I think they do have them because Cheryl Cole famously punched one in the face. But I don't know what they sell in them. My camera's a bit lopsided here. I should straighten it out. But, you know, I put it on double speed so it's not too boring, you can see. And I think for the first couple of minutes, I'm just overtaking large swathes of people. And I'm going to give a few facts about Heaton Park. It is one of the biggest parks in Europe and covers 600 acres. The land was bought by Sir John Egerton and the Egerton family, who would remain its owners for centuries. Sir Thomas Egerton commissioned the architect James Wyatt to design and build Heaton Hall, a neoclassical mansion that became the centrepiece of the estate. In the 1800s, the Egerton family landscaped the park with ornamental buildings like Dower House, the Temple and the Colonnade, which was moved from the old Town Hall in Manchester. In 1902, the park and the grounds was bought by Manchester City Council, 650 acres, it says here, of land, from the Earl of Wilton for £230,000, opening it as a public park. And even though it's still owned by Manchester City Council today, it is in Prestwich and the surrounding areas, which is actually in Bury Council. So imagine they're a bit miffed at losing out on a bit of income through it, because it hosts many gigs and festivals. It also has an 18-hole golf course, bowling greens, tennis courts and football pitches. And also the Pope, John Paul II, visited it in 1982, where over 250,000 people attended, which is one of the park's largest ever, I think it's the largest non-musical gathering. And I attended the Festwich Festival. It's been held here for 2 years. It used to be in nearby St Mary's Park, but it got a bit too big, so we hold it here now, and that's a really good festival. See, I'm still overtaking people here on my slightly lopsided camera. But this is the park run. I used to do this pretty much every week. 19 times I've done this park run, but it was 18 months. So you're back at the start line here. You do like a short lap. So you got the toilets on your left, a boating lake on the right, and more toilets there. So this is where you start and finish. I didn't actually get the start. I think the battery ran out on my camera probably about 30 seconds before I finished. And it was a real good sprint finish as well. But I don't know if anyone's going to actually get to the end and watch the whole video. See, I'm still overtaking people here. And another fact about Heaton Hall, there are some underground tunnels which were believed to be used during the Second World War for some kind of training. There were old trenches here as well, that were built as part of World War One training. And if you know where to look, they are still visible, but I don't know where to look. I mean, there's a lot of bloody ground to start looking for trenches, but I'm sure there are some YouTube videos of people doing urban explorers doing the tunnels and finding the trenches as well. But even I've not even explored the whole of Heaton Park. I've done the alternative course here, And I've done the 10K, which is on here, which is a different route. Oops, I recognise this lady here. And I think this is the start of Angina Hill. It is. It's not even that big a hill. When you've done places like Woodbank or something like that, or Hay Woodlands, and they're bigger hills. But these two here, this couple here, I mean, I overtake them here, but then there's a good game of cat and mouse. I think I beat on the sprint finish one of them or two of them, but I didn't get that finish. So I overtake them here, then they overtake me again, and we overtake each other about 3 or 4 times. But like I said, I didn't finish the film. But finish the film? I mean, film the finish. Like the bit where it's got 200 metres. See, some of these people in buggies do it pretty quick. I've been beaten by people doing it in prams before. I'm not sure. I think so. A lot of people had the Macmillan Cancer Trust T-shirts on. There's a few here. That's the Heaton Hall as I just turned there. But yeah, I won't be doing parkrun for a few weeks now. I'm going to do a few while I'm in recovery from my surgery. A few park walks, and I've got a couple of people who are going to tag along to keep me company and that while I walk them, and probably help with the commentary, because trying to waffle on for 10, 12 minutes and think of something to say. I can add things like this little video from the starting lineup, and you can compare phone footage to camera footage. I did say if this channel starts getting a lot of subscribers and views, then I will invest in a better camera. I don't think this is that bad. It's the fisheye lens that make it, and the small lens that make it a bit, not really sure. I mean, I've watched it back on my telly. There's that couple again, they've overtaken me. And even though I've done this parkrun quite a lot, I've never actually even been to the cafe, so I'm not even sure what the prices are. I used to go in to use the toilets, but I don't even know what the prices or anything like that, so maybe I should start reviewing them. And the nearest Wetherspoons, I think, is Bury, which is about 15 minutes on the Metro link. And I've actually done more Wetherspoons than parkruns, if you can compare these two here. So I actually went to Haywood today just to make it my 50, because I've never been there. So that's 50 spoons, 32 parkrun locations. But I do hope to expand that one. See, there's that couple again. I can't remember where I overtake them. They start pulling away, and I've no idea who they are. Yep, I overtake them here, and I'm sure there's a bit where I can hear them talking, and they overtake me again. See, I used to do this in like 22 minutes. My best time here was, I think it was 21:43, and that was when they had a 22-minute pace. So I used to always get here like 22:10, 22:06, 22:15. See, they've overtaken me again, and it's a good game of cat and mouse. This. I don't know if they were aware of me or paying much attention to me as I was to them. But yeah, I only got a sub 22 here once when I used to do it every week. But when I'm fully fit, I am going to come back. See, there's a 3K marker, so we're past the halfway point here. And there's a part here, I can't remember if I've gone through it, where in this time of year, because there's loads of trees and all the leaves are falling on the floor, it does get really slippery. And I can't remember if I've been through it because I've not been watching. Well, I have, but just not paying that much attention. I think that's the bowling green on the left. Someone did say when I review each parkrun, because people like to know whether you can take prams, dogs and stuff like that, and whether there's a cafe and toilets is always a big thing. Someone said about parking, but I wouldn't know because I'm one of these. Bus wankers! Yeah, so it's on the Metro link for me. Am I going to overtake this couple again? I think it's like the 4th time I've overtaken them. And I think they overtake me again. I bet some people who do the same parkrun, I used to have them like the parkrun nemesis, where that person who's always just in front of you or you can never quite beat, but on a good day, you beat them, or if they have a bad day. Some other interesting things that Heaton Park has been used for in history. Some coming up on the screen now. And here's some old pictures coming up of Heaton Park. Not sure when that is. There's one coming up here of Heaton Hall from 1920. There's a few people now are getting the sprint finishes in a bit early. This guy is anyway. I did notice that the two people who were at the front, 1 and 2, was 15 minutes and 54 and 15 minutes and 55. Matthew Cooper and Bryn Lawrence. That must have been a bit of a sprint to finish. I think the third place was like 90 seconds behind, so it was a straight 1-2. Which happened with me once at Clarence Park when I don't like to boast about it, but I did win, and it was me and a girl called Paula something. I can't think of her last name now, but it was January last year, and it was us like way ahead of everyone else. But it had been cancelled for weeks. I mean, I won it with a time in about 23 minutes, so it worked great. But yeah, I beat her on the sprint finish. But I'm not sure how many female winners, overall winners of parkrun. That would have been a rare one, that as well. So yeah, I took away from her, a rare female victory. I did see her again at a parkrun when I think I broke my rib, and I'd been out for a while, and I saw her again at another parkrun, and she was like 90 seconds ahead of me, but still not finishing first. Not sure if she's still pissed about that. I would be. If anywhere I finished second, no matter who it was that beat me by a couple of seconds. I don't think I'll win a parkrun again. I'm not sure. Didn't even get a golden token. I think some people, when you the number one, the token you get given at the end is golden one. But I do have a picture of me with that number one from January last year. But yeah, it was just the same as all the rest. I'm sure we're nearing the finish here now. But, well, at least the finish of the video. That's it. I'm getting overtaken here. Not sure where that couple are. Probably just right over my shoulder. But yeah, it just finishes suddenly here because I think my battery ran out.